Hi, this is Mike Regan with TranzAct's 2-minute warning for the week of October 3rd. If you've been watching these 2-minute warnings for any length of time, then you know that one of the things that we're always talking about is the need for transportation, logistics, and supply chain professionals to get informed and get involved. Now, with that thought in mind, I'd like to share an experience that we had last week. We were in Washington, D.C. participating in the NASSTRAC-sponsored fly-in. Some of you may be asking, Mike, what's a fly-in? Well, that's where members of the association come together to meet with the staff members from the various congressional and Senate office to discuss issues which are important to the members of that association. Well, last week we had a full agenda because, folks, there's lots of things happening in the transportation environment, and in particular, the war on trucking. Well, some of the things that we learned in this fly-in that I just thought I wanted to share with you are really three things. First of all, for each and every position that we felt was important, some of the staff members shared that there are other groups or sets of individuals that have an opposite position. So on things like hours of service, where we think retaining the 11th hour is really important and looking at the restart provisions, we learned that there are other groups up on the Hill that are encouraging senators and congressmen to eliminate the 11th hour. And that brings us to our second point. Rather than just argue that we need to do this or we need to do that because it makes good sense, you need to have the set of facts. And more importantly, you need to be able to explain succinctly how that legislation is going to affect your company and your ability to manage your supply chain. And that brings us to the third thing. We need to be very specific about what we're asking the congressmen or senators to do. You cannot be, in the words of one individual, a wandering generality. You can't go in and sit down and think, well, oh, they're smart enough, they'll figure it out. You need to specifically state what position you want that senator or congressman to have. Now, with this thought in mind, if you have questions or comments about what's happening in the war on trucking or on the legislative front or things with the FMCSA, we'd like to have you give us a call here at TranzAct. With each 2-minute warning, we want to remind you we're on your team and we're here to help. Thanks for your time.